Hey, digital trailblazers, it's Leah Ray, and I'm super excited to talk with you about how to bring in your first clients. Now, often, and if you look at the events in our group, you'll see me covering topics of, big launch strategies, how to make 10,000, 20,000 plus in launching your digital course or coaching program. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about tonight is how to bring on your first clients, period. So if you've never worked with clients before, sometimes, not all the time, some people it still makes sense for a big launch, but sometimes it does make sense to start smaller and just to take on a handful of one-on-one clients to get the ball rolling. I was just on a coaching call 2 minutes before this started. I finished it up. And on that call, I was having this conversation with one of our clients. And for her, it makes sense at this point to simply take on a handful of one on one clients before building up into a bigger launch. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. Really simple, really basic, yet effective way to start bringing in those first clients. So as you jump on, say hello. Let me know you are here and where you are watching from tonight, the platform and your physical location. I wonder how many different states and or countries we've got watching with us. I love to see all of you. Hey, Alicia, good to see you. All right. So, yes, we've got Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the Wyoming. Ooh, Lisa, that sounds amazing. Someday I will visit up in that region of the states. I have not yet, but it looks amazing. The closest I think I technically got was South Dakota. Yeah, the Badlands. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. Mount Rushmore and all that area. Just have to keep going for a while to find you guys, I think. All right, so let's talk about what this looks like. So number one, why? Like, why is this a good fit for some people to not do this big launch, but to simply get in a handful of clients, paying clients, not your cousin that you asked to go through your course for free, but an actual paying client who is paying you money to work with you one-on-one. Well, this can be a really good fit for someone who it has they're feeling some doubt on or not doubt. It's not that they know they can help people, which you should as a coach, right? However, they've never implemented the program that they want to create before. So maybe they've done it with themselves, maybe they've done it with a loved one. They've created great results. So they know they can help people, but they're really still getting started and they haven't really journeyed with someone in a structured way through this process. It can be a really good idea to take on a handful of one-on-one clients initially so that you do that. So you can walk them through from the beginning through to getting the result that they're looking for, because then when you make your bigger program that you want to launch, like this big group high ticket program or whatever, then it can be even better because you're able to pull from your experience and your client's experience in that one-on-one setting. So if you're really brand new to coaching, it often makes sense to do this. So don't think of this as like a failure in any way. This is a really solid, smart way to go. With the specific client I was talking to tonight, I didn't want her to take time to put together all of these structured videos and everything in her group program. I was pushing her to just take on some one-on-one clients first right now, because then from that experience of coaching those people, she will be able to create a better program long term. And she will build up her confidence in doing so, which is very, very important, especially for brand new coaches who are just getting started. Oftentimes, confidence is an issue, right? Entrepreneurship in general, right? There's that up and down stuff that goes on in entrepreneurship, and confidence is definitely part of that struggle and that journey. So I'm curious of everyone who's listening. We got lots of you on the different platforms. What do you think is a better fit for you? Like, are you really established and ready to crank and you want to do a bigger launch of a group program or a course? Or are you kind of more on the just getting started, and this whole concept of just taking a handful of clients on initially one-on-one makes sense to help you hone your skills as a coach and to create a better program long-term? I would like to a one, if you want to do what we're talking about tonight, right? Which is the slow growth, steady. Slow sounds bad. Steady growth, right? Of the one-on-one clients first, and two, if you want to jump right into a launch, because in the guide section of the group, I have tons of trainings on launch, so there's plenty there for you. But yes, we're honing in on the steady growth process tonight. So the first step, what I like it. Thank you, Lisa, Carolyn. Good. So yeah, I honestly, it makes sense for a lot of people. So and unless you're pretty established or you've got some really strong expertise in a different way, for most people, this makes a lot of sense. The first step here is really to know exactly who you help and the result you help them achieve. So, who is the person you help and the result you help them achieve? So, we have an amazing client who, very specific, helps Catholic women 40 and up find true self love and joy, right? Very specific. Not like I help all ladies, right? I help women. No, very specific. The more specific you can get, the better. I was just hearing about a trainer the other day who was really struggling to get any traction online. They ended up serendipitously finding a client who was missing a limb and working with a client that was missing, I don't know which limb, but they were missing a limb. And they came to him to get trained for like a Paralympic event. And the guy did phenomenal, and he got medals, all this kind of stuff. And it jump started this super specific sub niche for this trainer of helping people who are missing limbs get in shape, fit, be able to train for events, all this kind of stuff. And he went from having like a couple clients to having like a 7-figure business within 6 weeks, because it was such an untapped market and it was so specific. Right? So that's where you got to start this journey. We don't have to have all this system set up with a membership site and courses and all that kind of stuff, but you do have to know exactly who you help and the result that you help them achieve, because you'll see why it's so important in a second here. Okay. Because as you dive into this, in the end, what is going to bring in sales? What brings in sales is in getting in front of your target audience and having conversations, sales calls, right? Like actually talking to people, making connections. Now, you can nurture those connections. You can even make those connections initially through your social media, through ads, through all of these different online high-tech strategies. Do you have to go that route? No. If you do not have the expertise or budget for ads, you're not going to do ads, or you shouldn't do ads, unless you're getting help from people like us. But even if you're doing social media by itself isn't going to fill your sales calendar, at least for a few years. Like it takes a very long time to build up those audiences on social media where they're actually going to lead somewhere. So how do you get people really raising their hand, having conversations with people to be able to bring on new clients? That's the thing, right? Because clients come from conversations and connection. So what's a really super simple way that you could do this? Well, let's kind of go through an example. Now, if you were going to start a new restaurant in your hometown where you were born and raised, you know all these people, and you're going to launch, you're starting up a new cafe or specialty restaurant or whatever, and you're super excited about it. You've poured hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars into this. And what do you think you're going to do to make the grand opening successful? What do you think? You're just gonna like put it in the paper and hope it turns out well? Hopefully somebody shows up. Hopefully not. I think most people are going to tell their family, tell their friends, have their family and friends also tell other people and invite people to make it very successful, because they've invested all of this time and money into this business and they want to tell everybody. Like if they're starting a Mexican restaurant and Uncle Joe hates Mexican, well, they don't want Uncle Joe to go, but maybe his daughter is like number one fan of Taco Tuesday. And so maybe you tell Joe, not for Joe, but to tell his daughter, right? You're still getting the word out. And so I think people are wanting to leverage all of the cool online stuff right away, which is awesome. And that's our jam. But they're also missing out an opportunity, because if you take that same path and apply it to your coaching business, that could be very helpful for you to have those connections and those conversations that lead to clients. 3 C's, right? Connection, conversation, client. There you go. So, what if every single day you contacted 10 people that you know and just told them about what you do and asked them if they have any referrals? So that's why it's important that you have said, you figured out beforehand exactly who you help and what result you help them achieve. Otherwise, you're not going to have anything. It's going to be mushy when you try to tell them, right? You can't be mushy. So who you help, how you help them, what result they achieve. So I help women over 40 balance their hormones and lose weight. Now, Uncle Joe, I know that clearly this isn't for you, but I wanted to let you know what my new business is. I am taking on clients right now. Do you happen to know anybody that you think might be interested to learn more? Hey, Aunt Susie's been struggling for a while. Why don't you give her a call? Or I'll text her your number and I'll tell her you're going to give her a call, right? Ask for referrals. And when you open the conversation that way, because obviously Uncle Joe isn't going to buy the thing for women. However, maybe you ended up asking Aunt Susie. You called Aunt Susie directly, but you didn't frame it as this kind of network marketing, call your warm market, pitch everybody situation. This was a, hey, Susie, hey, Auntie Susie, I just want to let you know that I'm launching a new business and I'm really excited about it. I don't know if you know anybody who might be interested, but I'm helping women over 40 balance their hormones and lose weight. Do you know anybody who you think could benefit from this maybe? Or who'd want to learn more? Because that's when some people say, oh, hey, me, tell me about it, right? Tell me about it. I want to know more. And you can have those initial conversations. And even those ones that aren't, tell me about it, I want to know more. It's, hey, I think I know somebody. So in all honesty, I'd love to hear on here, have you done this? Have you even notified your warm market of what you do? I would bet 8 out of 10 people probably haven't. But if you made a rule for yourself, 10 people a day, just let them know what you're doing and ask if they know anybody who might be interested. 10 people a day. And you can do it via text message if you like. No, nothing wrong with that. We're going to keep going here in a minute, but let me read this from Carolyn. Transformative coaching for resilient 50 plus professional women who have experienced childhood trauma but are emotionally healthy through therapy and counseling. I help women transcend stagnation and break up fear, prioritize self-care, and discover their purpose. That is a lot of words. So Carolyn, I think you will need to condense that, easier to digest. You got to simplify that a little bit, okay? Because that's hard. There's a lot of like pieces of that. So kind of, I continue to work on that. You're headed in the right direction, but condensing that further, I think will be important for your success. Now, what if you run out of people, right? Because that's like the biggest objection when it comes to this. What if you run out of people? I don't have that big of a warm market. Okay. I was just talking to someone. It's going to be on our Digital Trailblazer podcast soon. Justin. It was an interesting conversation. And he was saying he sells websites. So he'll sell small businesses websites. So what he purposely like sciences up his kids up for clubs and activities and goes to small businesses that have crappy websites or no websites so that he's always making new contacts to talk to, right? Because if you're sitting there tying on Sally's ballet slippers and you can talk to the teacher who's the owner, right, at the same time. Hey, I noticed you don't really have a website. What's up with that? Oh, yeah, my nephew's gonna do it, but I never got around to it. Blah, blah. Oh, I do that, like really low cost. I could help you out, right? And so it's initiating those conversations. So 10 people a day, 10, not 5, 10 people a day, letting them know what you do. And this is not, I know for myself, back in the day, many a years ago, I did network marketing, and there's almost like a PTSD reaction, right? Now, I don't mean to make fun of that actual condition, but I mean, there is a gut reaction to people who've been through network marketing when they hear something like that. And it's like oh, I did that. Like I did that with network marketing. That was painful and unfruitful. It didn't lead to anything. We're not talking about network marketing, right? Number one, people don't want to be contacted about network marketing, right? But they do potentially want to learn about services and things that they want that would help them, right? And you're not pitching them. You're just letting them know what you're doing, and you're asking if they know anybody who might be interested. Keep it simple. 10 a day. So if you feel like you're struggling to connect with enough people, if you're struggling to have a warm market that allows you to do 10 people a day, no problem. Network. Head to some networking groups. I would greatly encourage you to go to your local networking groups, your local business groups, your anywhere where your people hang out. If you coach moms, go to a MOPS, right? Moms of toddlers or whatever, preschoolers or whatever that thing is. Find out where your target audience is congregating and network there. Now, am I saying just go all old school and do nothing online? No. But I'm telling you the simplest way to just bring on a handful of clients to get your coaching business going. Get it going. And while you're doing all of this, you should be building up your online presence. You should be creating content. You should be going live on your Facebook, in creating a Facebook group and going live in that group and talking with your target audience. Because now when you do connect with someone and they're not really interested right now, but it's a topic they like, or they have interested in it, they're interested in it, but not at this point. Great. Get them in your Facebook group, your free group, where you go live once a week. And now you're having conversations and you're teaching and training every week, which gives you practice and helps you with your verbiage, helps you with your delivery, helps you with your presentation, so that as you bring on those handful of new clients, you're going to be able to serve them better. And all of your marketing, you're getting feedback directly while you're live. Like, what are people resonating with? Like, did this make sense? Oh, this was confusing. Like, all of that stuff you're going to understand more the more you talk about your topic, the more you get out there and just be present and speak. And so your own Facebook group where you're loving on your people in your community is a great opportunity for that. And it's a huge missed opportunity if you're not currently doing it. So I highly suggest that you set up a group, you invite your leads and contacts that aren't ready to purchase now, right? Get them in there and then just show up once a week, have a standing date and time. You're always going live on that day of the week, and use that to flesh out your content. Use it to flesh out your messaging. Use it as an incubator for those people who are interested, but just not yet. So that they're ready, they're super duper warmed up, and they pop at a later date when they're ready to rock and roll. So 10 a day. I'm curious if anyone has the guts here to take on the challenge of the 10 contacts a day challenge. It is simple. I didn't say it was easy. I did say it was simple, right? I don't use the E word when I'm talking strategies because it's simple. It ain't easy. You got to have some gumption. You got to stick to it, and you got to make it a personal rule for yourself. So build up your tenacity, build up your self-discipline, start shooting some text messages off, start whatever, helping people to do it. I mean, I will admit I am not very good at this because we've been at this for a long time. We've moved areas a lot. So when we first got started, we were in Oklahoma. Now we're in Florida. The people I know down here don't really know what I do. And it turns out we have a friend that spent over $40,000 paying other people to do for him the kind of stuff that we do. And he got screwed in the whole process because he didn't know what we did. That's on me. And I feel bad about that because I didn't tell him. Because I get used to not having to, because we generate leads and we do a lot of other stuff online that keeps our business flowing. But I highly suggest do this. Let people know, 10 people a day. Let them know what you got going on. Now, if you're looking for more opportunity for exposure, for getting in front of more people, for generating more leads, I do really like podcast guesting. We offer that opportunity to people that we connect with. We've got an amazing podcast audience, and one of our podcasts just officially hit the top 10% of podcasts. Yay! And we just launched. So that's super exciting. So we do have a massive audience to reach people with. So if you are looking for more exposure, you're looking for more lead generation, type in guest. I think that's what I put. Type in guest in the comments and let's chat about being on our podcast, see if we have a good fit. And with that, if you're looking at tonight's thing and you're like, I get it, but I'm gonna need some help, or I don't even have like an email list set up, or I need help fleshing out the offer or the structure of the offer or any of that stuff. Cool. That's what we do. We help with that. So just comment info. You and I can chat. We'll set up we'll chat in Messenger. We'll set up a time to talk and see how we can help you with this. Okay. If you're in YouTube or LinkedIn, there's links for these things instead of comments because I don't go on those platforms enough or the platform isn't set up well with Messenger capacity to be able to do that. So instead, just click the links and you're all set. But yes, let's have you on the podcast, get you some exposure, get talking about this. One thing, this was a really good, it was on a coaching call as well. We had a client who was kind of struggling a little bit with her message, like of her offer. One of her assignments this week is to get on a podcast. It forces you to talk about it and present yourself and will help you solidify your messaging and how to talk about your offer. So really good opportunity. Type in guest. We can chat and see if it's a good fit to be on the podcast. It's free. It's not something that we charge for. And if you want to chat, see how we can help you with putting this stuff together, getting this out on the market, just type in info and let's talk and see how we can help you out. I will be back here next week, 7:30 Eastern or 7 p.m. Eastern every week. I look forward to seeing you there and have a blessed one. And happy Holy Week, all the fellow Christians out there.